Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rahak Kadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honors to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, great millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called Black Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like, for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person, or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got some videos lined up related to the American economy and people are homeless and people losing their shit, and it's about to, it's looking bad for America, Babylon the Great. I'm going to play these videos, and that's financially, but I'm going to play these videos, and I'm going to get into the scripture my best ability to say whatever I got to say through spirit and power, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, the Holy Spirit of Karach Dash. Lord willing be on me, let's get it.
Have you noticed something lately? Even the mainstream media here in the United States now openly admits the United States economy is not booming. In fact, far from it. A recently published article in the Wall Street Journal caught my eye, and I would like to go ahead and focus on the issue deeper. The article is titled, "Americans are falling behind on their $1.25 trillion credit card bill." There's a growing disconnect in the United States today. On one hand, official economic statistics continue to suggest resilience. Based on the official narrative, unemployment remains relatively low, consumer spending has not even collapsed, and the stock market continues to attract investment, and everything is great. But beneath that surface, a very different story is emerging, one that is not told through GDP figures or through stock indices, but through credit cards, overdue bills, and households increasingly struggling to make ends meet. And that is not an overstatement. The latest data from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York paints a troubling picture. Americans now carry a record $1.25 trillion in credit card debt. This is the highest level ever recorded. Now, at the same time, and this is the troubling part, credit card delinquencies have reached a 15-year high. 13% of all credit card accounts are now at least 90 days overdue. Again, this is the worst level since the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis. These numbers reveal something important about the state of the American economy. Consumers are not simply spending because they are confident about the future. Increasingly, they appear to be spending because they have no choice, and they're not spending their savings. They're putting everything on their credit cards. For millions of households, credit cards have become less of a convenience and more of a survival tool. The reason is, of course, very straightforward. The cost of living has risen dramatically over the past several years. Food now costs remain elevated, and housing expenses continue to squeeze families.
I gotta stop for a second. Yeah. They talking about savings. There's no savings. They gotta put everything on a credit card, going more debt. And it's like purchase food credit card. That ain't nothing new. That been going on for the last few years. But it's keep building up, growing and growing. So I'm going to read this and then get back to the video. But Hagar chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have so much and bring in little. Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. So you work so hard for very little. You ain't got enough food to be fed. You ain't got enough water to drink or bathe your butt with, because you can't afford the utilities hardly. And ye clothe you, you ain't got enough money to buy clothes, new clothes. You got to deal with the same clothes that's torn and got holes in it. Yep. And you ain't got enough money to save. But instead of saving, hell, you end up putting it on a credit card, and that makes it worse. But whatever.
Family budgets. Healthcare costs show little sign of relief, as I'm sure many of you know. Utility bills, insurance premiums, and transportation expenses have all moved higher and higher. For many Americans, wages have simply failed to keep pace with the cumulative impact of these increases. When food, housing, and healthcare consume a growing share of your household income, there is less money that is available to pay off existing debt. So families are forced into very difficult choices. They cannot stop paying rent. They cannot ignore their mortgage, of course. They need electricity, they need transportation and groceries, and as a result, credit card payments often become the first obligation to be delayed. So this dynamic helps explain why delinquency rates are rising across virtually every income group. The problem is no longer confined to low-income households. Data shows that residents of lower, middle, and higher income communities have all experienced increasing rates of overdue credit card payments over the past several years.
From the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, the Ego 22-inch aluminum
Even more revealing is the size of the balances that Americans are carrying on their credit cards. The average cardholder now holds roughly $6,500 to $6,700 in credit card debt. Meanwhile, the share of Americans carrying balances above $10,000 has risen substantially across all income brackets. What makes this situation especially dangerous is the cost of borrowing itself. Average credit card interest rates have surged to approximately 21%, which is up dramatically from around 14 to...
God damn, what, usury? No, yeah. Putting interest on it, and they make a lot of money off this shit.
To 15% just a couple of years ago. At those rates, debt becomes increasingly difficult to escape. A family that is carrying out...
And you know they doing this on purpose. And all roads leading to that chip implant. We got a debt forgiveness program for you. Get on board, and we'll wipe your debt away. Yeah, get that chip implant. Hell, they already got that with them ICE agents. Yeah, and that's how they get them motherfuckers in that bitch. And they can get paid so much. You have so many benefits. And we can clear your debt away. And you can round up a bunch of these Edomite. I'm not Edomite. Shit. Well, but they want to be rounding up a bunch of Israelites. That's what I meant to say. Not Edomites. Not yet. Not them niggas yet. But anyway,
large balance may find that a significant portion of every monthly payment simply goes toward interest charges rather than reducing the principal balance. So what begins as temporary borrowing can quickly become a long-term financial trap. This is one reason why credit card counseling agencies are now reporting unprecedented demand. The National Foundation for Credit Counseling says it served 24% more clients this January than during the same period a year earlier. Compared with 2018, its average monthly client volume has increased by roughly 60%. More Americans are seeking help because more Americans are discovering that their debt burden is becoming unmanageable. They cannot pay it off, and they cannot sustain the same level of expenses on a monthly basis. Yet, of course, credit cards tell only part of the story. An equally revealing trend has emerged in the explosive growth of so-called buy now, pay later financing. Initially marketed as a convenient alternative to traditional credit cards, buy now, pay later services allow consumers to divide purchases into smaller installment payments. And so these programs become popular for discretionary purchases such as clothing, travel, electronics, and today Americans are increasingly using them for necessities. According to a recent Lending Tree survey, nearly 1/3 of buy now, pay later users have used those loans to purchase groceries. Among Generation Z consumers, the figure rises to nearly 4 in 10. That statistic alone should raise concerns. When households begin financing groceries, one of the most basic recurring expenses, it suggests that disposable income has become increasingly strained. The survey uncovered even more troubling findings. More than half of all buy now, pay later users said that they would struggle to make ends meet without access to these loans. Among households with children, the figure rises to more than 60%. In other words, what was originally designed as a flexible payment option to purchase high-ticket item has become a substitute for income used to purchase groceries. And even more alarming is the growing number of users who are falling behind on these payments. Nearly half of all buy now, pay later borrowers reported making at least one late payment during the past year. That number has risen sharply from just a few years ago, by the way. The trend suggests that many households are not merely using these services for convenience. They are actually relying on them because they lack sufficient cash flow to cover everyday expenses. Some consumers have even begun using buy now, pay later financing to cover rent payments, medical expenses, dental bills, and vet costs. And these, of course, are not luxury purchases. These are essential obligations, and when financing tools originally designed for consumer goods become necessary for basic living expenses, it often signals deeper financial stress, deeper economic stress within the broader economy. This really creates an interesting contrast with the political conversation that is currently taking place in Washington. President Trump has largely downplayed concerns regarding household financial stress and increased...
Yeah, that nigga don't give a fuck what that nigga said. I'm not concerned about the financial problems Americans are going through. I'm concerned about Iran having a nuke. And that's it. That's all I care about.
Inflation. When asked whether economic pressures on American families influenced efforts to end the Iran war, he responded that such concerns played, quote,
"Oh, that, yeah, sure, yep.
Not even a little bit of a role. Debt is a lagging indicator of economic stress. Households typically exhaust savings before accumulating large balances on their credit cards, and so they borrow before they default. And
another thing, too, who's going through all that, those financial problems, financial woes? Your military, your servicemen. They're going through some problems, too. And some of them going to probably say, fuck this shit. Yeah, they family. Hey, man, they try to, like, say, some of them got family. And the family can't, I mean, the checks they bring from earning from being in the military, they send to a family ain't enough to fight the inflation. And then the military want to tell them, hey, why don't you tell your family to sign up for welfare or benefits? And they ain't even eligible for it because they making too much money. So, it's going to end up getting to the point where these servicemen going to say, and servicewomen going to say, fuck this shit. It ain't worth it. None of this shit ain't worth it. What's worth it for you Israelites is seeking Yahweh by Shema Shah and repent. And praying like heaven, Lord, have mercy on you. Because it's going to get crazy out here.
They default only after financial pressure has persisted for an extended period of time. The American consumer has long been the engine of the U.S. economy. Consumer spending accounts for roughly 2/3 of economic activity. But if a growing share of that spending is being financed through debt rather than through income, the foundation becomes increasingly fragile. The question now is how much longer American consumers can continue borrowing before the pressure becomes impossible to ignore and the foundation cracks. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear from you in the comments below your thoughts on the issue.
And due to the fact that on-premises file server to Microsoft 365 migrations only happen once.
If you are tired of paying more and more money for the same items, but yet you don't get the same amount of product, well, you're not in it alone. There's something called shrinkflation, where the product's price doesn't change for the entire container, but the container size is getting smaller, and yet the price is staying the same. Here's an example. It says Nutella. It looks fine from the front, then you turn it sideways and the truth is revealed. Look at this picture right here. Okay, you can see before, now before the container was a little bit smaller, not smaller than this, but it wouldn't go straight down, but it would come in a little bit, but it wasn't so drastic right here and in the front. That's the difference. And
I mean, shit. What so-called Nature Valley, damn, I can't pronounce that word. Granola bars, yeah, granola bars. The ones that's like the fruit with the nuts and shit, all of them. I usually been buying on fruits and nut one, which that's a bunch of bullshit. Get all genetically modified bullshit. But I buy that shit, and I buy the one with the peanut butter. I remember eating them things. Them things with a lot more material on it, but now it's like less. It's pitiful looking. It's like the bar was like at least, I'll say about an inch and some centimeters. I don't say 1 inch. It's 1 inch thick. But now that shit is like, some bars come out half a bar, half an inch. I'm like, how is this possible, bro? What the fuck, is the machine gone bad or something? It's like there's a machine that cuts. It's like a sheet of these bars and nuts, and or berries and nuts, not bars, but berries and nuts. And then the machine comes and cuts this in half, cut that and cut it in pieces. These niggas here turn that bitch into half the length or whatever. Yeah, this shit get bad, man. Then you gotta pay more for that shit. But I know it ain't nothing new. It's just something I'm talking about. It sucks, but we gotta deal with it. Yep.
We're seeing this all over the place. I saw this just recently with a pack of Oreos, where previously the Oreos were pushed together. They're pretty tight and it was hard to get them out. This time, I could actually put my finger in between like two of the Oreos and like you could wiggle them around.
How is that? Well, I guess so, but well, they shrunk the damn packaging. Well, yeah, that's another thing they've been doing. Like you getting like something to drink. The plastic it's not as thick as the bottle, like a black bottle, plastic bottle. It's not like it seems more flimsy. It's been like that for some few years. Since like after COVID came around, the tops they weak. It's like everything is they just shaving weight and shaving material down. But anyway,
it almost felt like somebody took like 1 or 2 Oreos out of each one of the sides and set it aside. Yeah, it didn't have as many Oreos this time. And again, I talk about Oreos a lot because that was the one thing that I purchased earlier on during the whole pandemic that I noticed prices were jumping on Oreos. I want to show you some other ones though. Okay, listen to this. These are some this is an article from BuzzFeed. Look at this right here. It says, I have to sadly admit that I'm addicted to M&Ms and recently bought a family-sized bag at Walmart. It cost a bit more than $10. The cashier noticed the
like fucking 13 or maybe 14.
Bag had shrunk considerably, and it had. Here is what AI just told me. Size reduction. The 17.2 ounce family-sized bags were reduced to 14.6 ounces, representing a significant reduction in product while the price remained the same. And that's true.
Price ain't remained the same. That motherfucker still down there. It went up.
It's happening, and it's not just in M&Ms. Okay, I want to read you another one.
It's happening to everything.
Look at this right here. It says tuna cans are definitely smaller. I used to be able to make enough tuna.
And they probably shaved they're not using the can, the material, the metal. They're probably using thinner metal.
salad for two decent sandwiches.
And it ain't even just for food products, it's everything else. Shit. But lawnmower equipment, fucking John Deere using thin ass fucking what that shit called? Pulleys. Them bitches don't last, but they been doing that shit. They been doing that shit for a while. Using weak ass metal, and the shit don't last for like a couple years. And be like, shit. God, I mean, you gotta pay whatever. Well, anyway.
With one can. Now I can make only one sandwich and have only a tiny bit left. I also need to use 2 cans to make tuna casserole, one of my favorite comfort foods. Yeah, tuna cans have gotten smaller. Okay, they are getting smaller. Now, I used to use a tuna can to show the amount of water that would, and I put it in my lawn, in different spots to see how much water is hitting that area, because you need about a half inch of water. Anyway, okay, that's besides the point. So I take a tuna can. Well, here's the thing. I can't really do that anymore because they're smaller. Okay? You can still use a can and get a decent idea, but it's smaller. In some cases, it's not even a half inch. Those are thin cans. I want to read a couple other ones for you, though. Listen to this one right here. Every year, I buy a twin bag of Kingsford charcoal from Sam's Club. Great price. And it covers all my cookouts through the summer. I paid the same this past March. My usual good deal, or so I thought. I got them home and put them next to the partial leftovers from the previous year. It was 20 pounds per bag. The new ones I had just purchased were 16-pound bags. Sigh. Yeah. Guess what, though? It's probably the same price. Okay? That's what's happening. We are experiencing shrinkflation like we've never experienced it before. Now, over the past several years, we've had a lot of...
Soon you're going to be experiencing shortages like you never experienced before. Like when COVID came around in 2020, shortages here. You can't buy that certain type of flavor or that certain type of... The brand, I mean, yeah, but they got different varieties. You can't get that variety. The variety pack. I used to... You don't see that at Walmart. I went to Walmart and I'm like, yo, where the variety packs at for chips? You don't see the variety pack, the Sam's or whatever you call it, the Walmart version of variety packs for chips. You don't see that shit no more. Usually they have them in a box or in a bag. You don't see it anymore. Same as like the Lay's. You don't see that anymore. Because I guess they don't make it anymore. But soon you're going to see a whole lot of shit that's not being made. And I don't know when it's supposed to happen. Probably around July or August. But man, I'm about tired of this shit. I'm ready for this shit to go down, bro. I'm tired of all these fucking people goddamn proud as fuck. All that damn graduation shit and all these motherfuckers. What they call it? It's like a self-worship day. In a way. It is a self-worship day. They graduated from being indoctrinated into these fucking schools. They ain't learned a damn thing. Hell no. I'm about tired of seeing this shit. Anyway, let me get back to the video.
Different examples of shrinkflation. And we've seen a lot of different reports where these companies were hiking prices, but people stopped paying those prices. So then they decided to come down. But by coming down, they had to shrink the product, or it was either less.
We get it. Anyway, let's get to the next video. He talking about something that's a no-shitter. I mean, anyway, let's get to the homelessness. Let's see what's going on in Atlanta. I think that's in Atlanta. No, it's Los Angeles.
Open drug use, rising violence, and a growing sense that no one is stepping up to stop it. On Friday, Fox 11 exposed disturbing scenes outside of the Skid Row Care Campus, a downtown LA harm reduction center. Fox 11's Gina Silva joins us here in studio with more on this growing problem in a story you'll see only on Fox 11. Gina?
That's right, Laura. Residents and the LAPD say conditions around the $26 million taxpayer-funded facility have deteriorated dramatically. So we reached out to the elected officials responsible for
What a waste of money, bro.
overseeing the area and also funding the facility.
Drug deals in broad daylight. People openly getting high on the sidewalk. Overdose.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot of that.
Right outside the Skid Row Care Campus, a taxpayer-funded facility that distributes drug paraphernalia as part of...
Hey, see, that's funny. You just feeding the habit. These niggas, and look how it worked out. It's a failure. Anyway, Esau's a fucking failure. Look, he's just selling crack pipes, selling needles, syringes. I don't know what the fuck all this shit is, but hell. I mean, this place is through. America is through.
its harm reduction service.
Talking about the art of saving lives. This how you save lives, by allowing these people to continue on. Whatever.
40% of the people that are homeless died from a drug overdose. So I don't know how continuing to enable people like this is really helping.
After residents and the LAPD sounded the alarm about violence, drug use, and 4 homicides near this harm reduction campus, We reached out to Councilwoman Isabel Jurado because Skid Row Care Campus is in her district. She issued a statement that says in part, "We cannot solve Skid Row by criminalizing poverty or pushing people from block to block."
Oh, so I guess Eve got a solution, give them drugs. Well, I'm saying Esau. Well, it doesn't matter, because hell, even if it's an Eve in this position, she always got to answer to Esau no matter what.
The goal must be both meaningful services and housing for people in crisis and a safe, healthy, and well-supported environment.
Yeah, I mean, somebody probably asked me what's the best solution. Hey, the only thing I can tell you is, shit. I don't have no solution. I don't give a fuck, really. Let this shit burn. Shit.
For everyone who lives and works in
I ain't looking to fix anything here in America. This bitch there's no way to fix this shit. Just let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And there ain't no, hell no. I ain't been in that spirit of talking about some damn fixing America. Fuck no. Let that bitch go. Let it be destroyed. Fuck this place.
Neighborhood. We'll have her full statement up on our website.
I have mentioned many times to the council member, and on one occasion, I was able to drive her around the location. And I realized that...
Why the fuck she got blonde ass hair? Goodness gracious. And that's funny how, brother, you gotta get on these Latino bitches too. These motherfuckers got that blonde ass hair knowing they ain't their hair. They hair color. They just like a black woman with this blonde ass hair. And they thinking they fucking white because they real light. Man, look at them big ass lips, nigga. Them big ass nose. Nigga, you a nigga. Goddamn blonde ass hair. Shit.
Occasion, I was able to drive her around the location. And I realized that she knew just how bad the situation was. And one of the things that I asked of her and her staff that day was, could they think about possibly harm reduction sites, bringing them under the city's conditional use permit ordinance.
A conditional use permit requires businesses like bars and nightclubs to prove to the city they can operate without disrupting the surrounding community. Lopez proposed applying that same standard to harm reduction sites. Jurado's response?
Whether it was the city council office or the city attorney, neither one has moved on my suggestion.
We also contacted all five...
Nothing but women. Nothing but women. Ain't got no fucking solution. First district, second district, third, fourth, fifth, all of them females. Ain't nothing solution. No solution at all. And they shouldn't even be in this position of power.
Members of the LA County Board of Supervisors.
Item 17 is before you.
The body that voted to fund this campus.
Motion carries.
None of the supervisors would go on camera or...
It is a failure. Bunch of fucking failures. Fee-fails.
Issue a statement. Not a surprise to Estela Lopez, Executive Director of the Downtown Industrial Business Improvement District.
What is it going to take for the power of the city and the county to step up and defend the safety of this community, both for the people who live indoors?
Hey man, I don't think you need to be looking for the safety of yourself and your family by seeking the Lord, woman. And going back to your natural hair color too. Shit. But man, yeah, it's about to get crazy out here.
And the people who
I was expecting this video to talk about that. I thought it'd just be homelessness, is people going homelessness or homeless and all that stuff. Nah, it's more than that. The drug problems, people ODing, all kind of shit.
Outdoors.
We did receive this statement and told to attribute it to the county.
It's happening in places and areas in certain cities they ain't never experienced this shit before. Like say 5 years ago, never seen shit like this. But 5 years, look how quick everything just go upside down or belly up. Shit, yeah.
Of Los Angeles.
And this is what happens when you got wicked rulers ruling the world. When the earth, hey, when the wicked bears rule, the people mourn. And if they mourn it, they'll probably end up getting high, getting on drugs and all that shit.
We recently increased campus
Which that ain't the way to be.
Security and expanded outreach on nearby streets to connect individuals to housing and support. The Skid Row Care Campus provides critical services to the community, including health care, case management, showers, and connection to housing and substance use treatment.
I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you whether harm reduction is good or bad. But my job is to be the voice of the business community here. I have 600 employers. This is still the hub of the city's warehouses for wholesale flowers, seafood, and produce. Those people come to work every day, and they're exposed to violence. And I just can't believe that the County of Los Angeles and the city both know about this problem, and they have not lifted a finger to do anything about it.
We contacted Homeless Healthcare Los Angeles, which operates the harm reduction services. They never got back to us. And that...
Yeah, they never will. Let's get to this next one.
It's against the law in Alabama now to be homeless. Your options are to be jailed or treatment, which you pay out of pocket for. How are you supposed to pay out of your pocket when you're homeless?
So living in a car or a van has been a solution for many people to combat the affordability crisis here in America for many years now. That's nothing new. But with the new bills that have been introduced to criminalize homelessness, a lot of people are getting worried.
They say they taking my home away, motherfucker.
It's okay.
I know that dog pissed.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Well, there goes your home.
Yep.
And again, they offered no other type of resources, no shelter, nothing.
Nothing. They just pulled us over as soon as they hit 8 o'clock.
And
when we were already on the way to go, like we were already in the car ready to go, like everything was ready to go. If they just waited 1 minute, we could have been out of here.
And all your belongings in the RV are now on the sidewalk with your beautiful dog.
Yes.
Well, I'm really sorry.
I mean, that's how the law works, I guess. Or I don't know. I really don't know. I just feel like they could have gave us 5 more minutes and we would have been out of here. If they just would have got out of our way, you know?
Did you guys know that a lot of states here in America are starting to criminalize homelessness? Yeah, like the state of Indiana. They've made several laws against illegal camping in the city, meaning if you're homeless and you're outdoors sleeping, you'll be arrested. But Indiana's not the only state to do this. Several states across the country, they don't want homeless people even being seen in public, so they just want to criminalize it and throw them in jail. You can't afford life, so time to go to jail. Let's start making license plates. Oh, did you also know states that are criminalizing homelessness have also reduced money going to food banks? And most of those states that have cut those programs and criminalized homelessness have also cut funding for food stamps and made it more difficult to get food stamps.
Here you go.
So, I guess this video ain't about just finance and, the financial woes. It's just problems in America, Babylon. Yeah. Anyway.
This is Senate Bill 285, which
when I first start these videos, I don't know what I'm gonna expect to watch. I should just play the video and say I got some videos related to America. I'm gonna play them and get on to it because the topic might be I don't know, it might shift off to something else. I don't know.
It's illegal for you to camp, live in your vehicle anywhere on or near public land. Also, here you go. This is where X amount of dollars in the billions has been cut out of the Indiana budget that was set aside for food pantries, for poor people, for children, for the elderly, for veterans.
Making homelessness illegal in a country whose minimum wage is $7.25 with a median rent of $1,400 is evil.
Scottsdale has an ordinance that allows police to relocate homeless people from Scottsdale and into Phoenix. And now, thanks to Phoenix City Council, you can literally be punished for helping them. Phoenix, Arizona is now regulating who's allowed to give food, water, or medical care to homeless people in triple-digit heat. Yesterday, on May 6th, Phoenix City Council passed an ordinance requiring city-issued permits for people to distribute food or provide non-emergency medical care in public parks. That goes into effect on June 5th, literally right as Arizona is entering peak summer.
It's already June 5th.
Heat. Phoenix already experiences some of the highest heat-related death rates in the country. Every single summer, people die from heat exposure here, especially unhoused people. So tell me why, during triple-digit temperatures, the city's priority is limiting access to food, medical treatment, or outreach services. This is about homeless people, but the city will tell you it's about medical waste and public safety. Instead of investing in things like sanitation, cooling stations, housing, addiction treatment, and mental health resources, they're putting restrictions on mutual aid and community outreach. The ordinance limits permits to only 2 per park per month. Medical treatment has to happen inside enclosed tents or vehicles in designated areas instead of open spaces. And violations can become a Class 1 misdemeanor.
If you're unhoused in the state of Louisiana, you now have two options. If you don't know, the Senate just passed House Bill 211. What this bill does, you can be placed in a mandatory treatment facility or placed...
Yo, I just realized I got videos I could add in to this. Yeah, I didn't even realize it. Yeah, this one right here with Jimmy Dore, and I have to grab that. Might as well get this one too.
in jail, or what they're describing as a government-sanctioned encampment.
If a person is detained by law enforcement under this bill, where do they take them? Where are they going?
To a designated public encampment area, a place that is legally defined where you can encamp.
But what bothered me the most,
more like a prison, right?
was hearing this senator actually explain or try to explain why this was necessary.
There are many concerns about this bill, right? Because there have been some iterations of this over the past year or two, and we haven't been successful passing that, correct? This bill presents some challenges for a lot of people. Would you agree with that?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I think that a lot of legislation people have issues with.
I want to talk to you a little bit about the cost. When I look at the fiscal note of it, it says that it may result in an indeterminable increase in local funds expenditures. In policy terms and policy talk, we could agree that this is an unfunded mandate because we don't know the cost, and locals would be responsible for the cost.
I guess you could say that.
Okay.
I actually want to read a section in this bill that mandates the unpaid labor part. In section 5385 C4B, it says
I ain't getting to all this. You want to watch the rest of the video and learn more about what's going on, hear the title of the video, they go to channel. Let me move something around.
I'm trying to pay off your loan.
Stop calling me.
Yeah, let me move this video. God damn. Now I can't even move it down. Motherfucker. Got that right there. And what is this about? Talking about why millions are choosing not to have babies or children. Might as well go and play that, because I was trying to figure out where I'm going to put this video, play it. I don't know, but I'm going to put that there. Let's get to this one with Jimmy Dore.
So, authoritarian regimes create conditions where, in essence, people beg for their own enslavement.
Getting back to the, your book about the decay of America, and it seems to me like in California, they've spent $25 billion in just a few years to try to tackle homelessness, and homelessness has only gotten worse. And now they've spent $80 billion on ICE and ICE prisons. And what I tell people is that those ICE prisons and ICE, they're not there for immigrants. They might look like it. There's a show. They're there for you.
They are.
For when you wake up to what's actually happening and you protest the data centers, or if you do vandalism on the data centers, which is what Larry Fink is afraid that Americans are going to drone bomb the.
Yeah, or either speak out. Yeah, speak out about the establishment. You've been spending decades speaking out about the wickedness and the establishment of this world and this country and all that shit, and who's ruling this world and this country and all this shit. Esau, so-called white man, but he ain't white. He's raising his baby. They suck a Jewish faggot nigger Amalek. Yeah, you speak out against Esau, Amalek, they can throw you in prison, man. Worshiping, doing prayer worship, and even if you worshiping Jeebus, they lock your ass up. They definitely gonna lock you up for worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah. That's why we gotta be ready for that when that time comes. Shit, but it's coming.
Data centers, and so it's to create a surveillance state, and that's what those prisons. They're not there for immigrants. They want the immigrants here. They want them here because they want cheap labor, and they want workers fighting even poorer people in a more desperate situation than them. So we don't come together and oppose the oligarchs. It's a great. So that's the the keeping the homelessness and the what I say.
It'd be like a one big. I hear what the brothers talking about. Bacon revolt, a big old slave revolt. They don't want that to happen. But it's going to look like it's going to, because the Lord going to make it happen. They're going to be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes.
It's like we've become China as a surveillance state with no rights to protest. But
they're not just that, but also factories. They bringing in Chinese factories in, so you're going to be working in them bitches for low labor, or low wages, I meant to say. not low labor, but wages.
We just have more street crime and slower trains. And so that is the game, right? That they want to keep this chaos, this homelessness. I mean, it's just unbearable here in Los Angeles. And street crime. It's to make people beg for more authoritarian solutions. So we'll accept the
order out of chaos. And then they'll bring in that chip implant. If you want to live in a safe environment, you got to get a chip to live in this safe environment, in this smart, safe city. Meanwhile, the people that don't want to take the chip, they'll live in that area where it's dangerous.
Surveillance state, and the prisons are there for people who try to rise up against it. Is my assessment correct? What do you say?
Yeah. So authoritarian regimes create conditions where, in essence, people beg for their own enslavement. That's it. And you're very right, of course. Look, people don't build concentration camps and tell you honestly who they're for. And nowhere in the world, in history, has that ever happened. They build them for those who are, quote-unquote, demonized as the enemy, the quote-unquote enemy. Whether that was in fascism, those were communists and Jews. But never forget that those concentration camps were filled with journalists and artists and writers and people from opposing political parties and everything else. So, yeah, of course.
And this dude blinking a lot.
And this gets back to the book America the Farewell Tour, which was based on the 1898 book by Émile Durkheim, Suicide, a French sociologist, who asked what is it that drives both societies and individuals to carry out collective suicide, and that's where we get the term anomie. But he says it's the rupture of social bonds. And what are those bonds? Those bonds are a place in the society, a work where you're remunerated and can buy a house and live with dignity, where the common good is accepted. Well, all those bonds are broken. Then you are essentially cast out of society. And so societies that have ruptured those social bonds have to create, through coercion, ways of control. And that becomes militarized police, and it becomes a vast carceral system. We have the largest prison system in the world. 25% of the world's prisoners were less than 5%.
And a lot of them are packed full of you Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, speckled birds, but not hardly any heathens. Especially not, I would say, let's say Edomites. Not hardly any of them, because they get a pass. Shit. Just like what that Asian nigga got a pass not too long ago. Not guilty for murder. He got a pass. Some men are not in trouble like others. And he's not an Edomite. He could be. It does look like Moabite, but either way, yeah, he got away with murder. But he ain't gonna get away with the Lord though. Yeah, he got away with murder, but he ain't gonna get away from Yahweh Shema Shah.
The world's population. And you're exactly right. And ICE is a key element in that. I mean, they overplayed their hand in Minneapolis, but they're still out there. We just had I live in Princeton, poor van load of workers were stopped at 6 a.m. because they were going to cut rich people's lawns, and they're all gone. And their families live in terror. And
yeah, man, Jacob Trouble, bro.
And ICE is all authoritarian regimes build paramilitary rogue forces that are beyond the reach of the law. And remember, they're recruiting a lot of these right-wing militia types into ICE. There's no training virtually.
None.
And that's what you go to India. I've been in India, and you have Modi. He has his own goons from the RSS. Erdogan has his goons in Turkey. Go back, what are the brown shirts, what are the black shirts in Italy? That's a fundamental point of a fascist state. And I think two developments. One, the massive expansion of ICE signals that, coupled with this slush fund, because that money is going to fund these very people. That money is exactly where that's being directed at people within these groups to empower them.
Everybody, come see me on tour. I'll be.
Yep. What else we got? Damn, what the other video? Oh, here you go.
Glen Erie Castle.
So, like I said earlier, this is more than just financial, woes in America, Babylon Great. It's like just woes in America, all kind of shit, and things that's just going on in America.
Invites you to stay overnight and experience the blend of charming historic style.
Now, I don't know if this is America or is this the whole country. I don't know.
Demography is one factor among many that has an impact on states' power and status in the international system. larger countries have more power.
Oh, you know what? No, I ain't gonna play this because they're talking about countries. Fuck that. Yeah. I don't want that to be played in there. I'm gonna have to put that in something else. I don't know what I'll make that out of. Something global. Some global issues type of video. Let's get to this last one. This is the last one. And damn, I already played some of it. I didn't even realize it.
It's against the law in Alabama now.
Actually, I did. Yeah, I did. Hold on. Wait a minute. Not this one. Yeah, this is one that I was supposed to be playing. This is a Hopeful Lake 3. Chapter 1 verse 6, ye have sown much and bring in little, ye eat, but ye have not enough, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink, ye clothe you, but there is none warm, and he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Proverbs chapter 29 verse 2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear fruit, the people mourn.
The week to get a check just for my check to get eat up by bills. Excuse me, absolutely not. Why am I working so hard just for my money to be swallowed up? Why? Like, why is being an adult so ghetto? And when you try to be a responsible adult and put some money aside for your savings, here comes some random unforeseen emergency that tries to come and eat up what you done put away. And you know what? I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired and I rebuke it. I rebuke it because it's a spirit. That's just how I feel about it. Because I'm not finna be broke. No, I'm not finna be broke. I didn't go to school and get my degrees to go get me a job in my career to work hard to be broke. The devil is a liar. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Whatever that is, we cancel that. Because, it's a no for me. It's a no for me.
It is so frustrating that the world we live in, I literally cannot afford to feed me and my son. Like, the little bit of food that I can afford goes to him. I have, like, starved myself so much in the past few months than I've ever had to do. And sometimes it's fine because, like, my GI issues, you know, I'm not even hungry anyway. But, like, today, my stomach is growling. You know what I have in my fridge? Water. Literally water. If you don't believe me, I'll show you. Like, see? Water. And that is turkey bacon, and that is a roll, but that's for my son. And these are empty. They're just eggshells. There is that fruit and applesauce, but the applesauce is for my son too. And I am thankful for the people that, like, lend me money. I always pay it back to get by, because sometimes, like, literally I have to, like, borrow money just so that I can get something for my son until the next disability check comes, or, like, whatever. And it's embarrassing, but it's not that I'm doing anything wrong. The world is just too expensive. My rent alone takes literally half of the money that comes in. Then you have insurance, gas, my dog, utilities, you know, like, and then I have to somehow afford food. Like, I can't do it. And I literally cannot afford to be disabled. But yet, even I know people that aren't on disability are struggling to feed themselves as well. And, like, it's just me and my son, and I'm struggling. So I can't imagine, like, single moms that have more than one kid or, like, whatever. And I mean, I'm not, like, and I'm honestly not really losing that much weight, but I think it's because my body is just, like, storing on to the fat that I do have, because it's like, who knows when we'll get to eat again. Like, it's embarrassing, but, like, it's nothing that I'm fucking doing wrong. It's this country. I hate it here.
Morning, friends. So we're on our way to go to the grocery store and some other places, but first I want to talk about something. And I know a lot of people can probably relate to this, but me and my husband make the most we've ever made, which I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I don't really bring anything in. But we've been married almost 9 years, and we are bringing home the most amount of money that we've ever brought home. But it feels like nothing. I feel like everything has just gone up so much. Like, I can't get out of the grocery store under $400 most of the time. Filling up my car is over $100 almost. And then you have 3 kids on top of that do sports, and then you got extracurriculars, and in the summer you're feeding them breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, and it's just a lot. And I just saw a couple other people on TikTok talking about this, and it made me feel good knowing that I'm not the only one. That sometimes it feels like you're just scraping, you know, the bottom of the barrel, but we literally do whatever we can to save money and to budget. And if we would have been making the money that we make now 10 years ago, dude, we would have been rich. And it's sad to say, like, I'm not gonna say what my husband makes, but we should be fine. You know, we should be doing great. But the price of everything is freaking expensive. Deodorants out here, $11. Body wash, you buy a big deal of it, it's like $25. Like, it's just crazy to me, man. Then you got groceries and... Alright, that's my TED Talk for today. I'm also gonna add that every time we get ahead and we're doing good, something always happens. It started out with my transmission. My transmission went out at the beginning of the year. Then my AC unit went out, and then I had to pay, for both of those together, is $8,000, and that completely, it drained us. I mean, it's just irritating. Like, he works so hard for all the money and all the things, and we always try to get ahead, and then it's like 5 steps ahead, 10 steps back every single time, and it just sucks. But it'll be alright. I'm grateful. Now I'm just ready for our vacation. I need a beach vacation. Okay. It's raining. Gotta go.
I will be moving into my car tonight. Me and my dog Bandit have been living here in this hotel for the past 45 days, and our renewal has come due, and it is not sustainable for us to continue to live here. This has been, I'm sorry guys, this is a hard video to make. It is not sustainable to live here anymore. While it is less expensive than a 1-bedroom apartment when you factor in the utilities, it is still very expensive. And most of the people that live in here, there's 2 incomes, there's 2 people working to pay for the room. I am just one person, and I have been running myself into the ground trying to keep up with the rent here. I have been working crazy hours trying to grind as much as I can, and each week I barely scrape by, and it's not sustainable to do this. I don't get to spend the time that I would like with Bandit. I don't have any time for self-care. I literally work as long as I possibly can. I come home, I take Bandit for a walk, I feed him, take care of him, and then I pass out in the bed there because I am so exhausted. It is just not sustainable. So we are on the East Coast. It is very hot here, often 95 degrees, very high humidity levels. So we are going to have to head to the West Coast where we can live in the car, because we cannot live in the car here. It would not be safe. We have 3,000 miles to cover, and I am going to try to get us there in the next 7 to 8 days. Gas is very expensive, so if you guys can do me a huge favor, like, comment, share, and save this video, do all the things, so hopefully I get paid by TikTok from this video, because it's going to take everything for us to get to the West Coast with these gas prices. We're just going to take it one day at a time. This isn't what I wanted, but I don't want to continue to live like this. There's also been some recent issues with the hotel, with, you know, there's been people being kicked out for behavior and other sort of activities happening here. I think it is our best option to move in the car. I'm going to be going live here on TikTok in just a little bit. I went to Walmart and Target to get supplies. I got a bed. We're just going to try to make this as comfortable as possible. I've done this before, as some of you know. Again, it's not what I wanted, but I see no other option, and it's not sustainable. People's lives are falling apart in our country. Something has got to give.
Yeah, involve nuclear fire. I don't know how to say it. That's why I'm like trying to figure out how to say it. I'll just say it like this. Say fuck it. Yeah, something's gonna give, and it's gonna be fire involved.
There needs to be affordable housing.
Oh, there ain't gonna be none of that, bro.
We shouldn't have to work
America gets destroyed.
60 hours a week to just live. It is not okay. I am sorry that this video is not positive. I'm doing my best.
Yo, if I see that news report of them talking about how more and more Americans are reporting food insecurity.
God damn, you had one, it was a moist British cigarette. Now you got this bull dyke pop up.
I'm gonna fucking lose it. We have no money. How many times do we have to say it? How many ways
Goddamn Allie from fucking Last of Us.
do we have to say it? We are broke. We are poor. We have no extra cash. I don't have the money for that right now. No tango dinero. How many times do we have to say we don't have money? Oh, more people are reporting food insecurity. More people are going on vacation. No, duh. We are poor. Thank you.
Think about this for a second. Since 2009.
One thing too, notice there's a lot of Edomites complaining about them not having the funds. They're broke. They're poor. They're low and homeless. I love it. I don't give a fuck.
Rent has exploded, groceries have exploded, gas, utilities, insurance, everything costs so much more. And everyone says, oh, it's inflation. Okay, I get that. But the federal minimum wage is still $7.25.
But you know I don't never see that's struggling, saying they struggling financially. That's an Edomite. Is you know who? The small hat people. You don't see them. Oh man, you only see that if it. I don't even know if anybody gonna make, or if they have already made like an AI generated version of Amalek complaining about the economies. You know they're struggling, they're homeless. You know I ain't never seen one of them niggas being homeless. Never. A small hat person being homeless, struggling, complaining they're struggling. They lost their job because they don't work anyway. They get paid. They get money for free from regular ass people, Goyim cattle, you know what I'm saying? But you never see them niggas struggling. You never see them. Well, they struggle to get the hell on out of Dodge when the environment's getting dangerous. They get the hell on. Just like, hey, look what's going on in Israel. That's a good example. But when it comes to financial problems, no, they ain't got no financial problems. They good. They get their money from taxpayers. Shit. Or either they just print that motherfucker and issue it out to one another. Meanwhile, the cattle be thinking, the Goyim be thinking, oh, money worth a lot. Shit.
Somebody working a full-time at minimum wage makes about $15,000 a year before taxes. And before you come at me and tell me nobody works for minimum wage anymore, they actually do. You'd be highly surprised. Who's going to serve you your food at your favorite fast food restaurant down the road? Someone still has to do the job, and yet they're not paying anything. People love to say, just work harder. There are people out there working 2 jobs and still scraping by. I'm sorry, it's not a work ethic problem. It's a they're not paying anything problem. And the people who say, go get a better job. I have a master's degree, and hardly anyone still hires. Good luck to you. Texas isn't as affordable as it once was. Sorry.
Every solution is just work more. Need more money? Get a second job. Still not enough? Start a side hustle. Still struggling? Monetize your hobbies. Need a better job? Go back to school. And maybe that's why so many people feel exhausted right now, is because every solution starts with working more, building more, or optimizing more, but then nobody can answer the bigger question, which is why does it take this much just to live a normal life?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, be the financial people that keeping things up and running, pretty much it ain't running no more. It's collapsing, it's trembling, it's dying, and the Lord gonna kill it. And the strong man shall bow themselves in the grinders' seats, because there are few work the jobs. Ain't that much jobs, and ain't nobody can't get a job. Some people don't want to work no more because they realize it's pointless. But anyway, and those that look out the windows be darkened, baby. The future of America looking pretty bad. I mean, that's the rest of the whole world too. And the doors shall be shut in the street. Big businesses, small businesses closing up. When the sound of the grinding gets low, be the sound of work being brought down low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, by the alarm clock or the birds tweeping in the morning, the early bird, you know, and the roosters, and all the daughters' music shall be brought low. The music suck, everything. So hell, I'll download movies and TV shows, and it's just like it's so hard for me to get into the shit. I was just watching it with the movie called last night. Called Is God Is, where they got the two twin Eve sisters got. You know, what's that bitch name? They can't get her, man. She been 60 years, and she's, Vivica Fox. Vivica A. Fox. I couldn't watch this shit no more. I just couldn't watch it no more. I was just like, once they was in the car, talking about you a stupid something bitch. You a old something bitch. I was like, okay, I'm off. I'm turning this shit off. I don't want to look at this shit no more. I'm just tired, man. I don't want to look at this shit. All this dumb ass movies. I don't want to look at it. I was like, this shit is dead, man. I want to watch something that's, I don't know. There's nothing to really care for. There's nothing to really care to watch. Or it be, it's really nothing. Yeah, that shows you this bitch is collapsing. It's coming to an end, man. That's why it's best for you to seek Yahweh Shema Shah. Because the real action is going to happen when all hell break loose. Fuck a movie. Movies ain't got shit compared to what's going to really go down. Yeah. But anyway, man, seek the Lord by seeking his prophets and take heed of what to say and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh Shema Shah. Keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble. And for you few sisters out there taking heed, keep your faith and trust strong. Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order. Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.